Hello and welcome to this message from Non-Woke Religion. I'm Stephen Eichler, PhD. Non-Woke Religion posts are intended to present practical religious viewpoints that have not been tainted by woke, far-left or progressive politics. Today's topic is Allulose has GI of 0% but is newly available and pricey. Allulose is a sugar that occurs naturally in small quantities in many fruits, and so is already part of a healthy diet. Recently, enzymatic methods were developed that made making allulose at scale more feasible. Obviously, no long-term studies have been carried out where allulose is ingested in the larger quantities used for replacing sucrose. Allulose is very promising as a health alternative all the same. If use of allulose increases, the price is likely to come down. The glycemic index is a scale that ranks foods based on how much they raise blood sugar levels after consumption. It is defined as the incremental area under the blood glucose response curve after ingestion of a test food, expressed as a percentage of the response to the same amount of carbohydrate from a reference food, usually glucose or white bread. Foods with a high GI value 70 or higher cause rapid increase in blood sugar levels. Examples include white bread, GI 70 to 80, white rice, GI 70 to 80, sugary snacks 80 to 100. Foods with a low GI value 55 or lower cause a gradual increase in blood sugar levels. Examples include whole grain bread, GI 30 to 40, oatmeal, GI 40 to 50, non-starchy vegetables, GI 10 to 30. Allulose has a GI of 0% and provides 10% of the calories of sucrose sugar. Allulose on its own requires 1/3 more weight to equal the sweetness of sugar. A blend of allulose and monk fruit, which has the same sweetness as sugar, is similar to cook with and can replace white sugar on basis of equal weight. However, it browns up slightly faster than white sugar. It has the potential to vastly reduce the calories of baked treats and to prevent blood glucose spikes, which can lead to diabetes in the longer term. If McDonald's were to change their sweet treats to using allulose blend, then their baked goods and even candy could be seen as a whole lot more healthy and acceptable than they are at the moment. There is potential to make baked goods and even candy safer through the moderation would still be advised. WholeHeartyKitchen.co.uk has recipes for diabetics that give some very useful examples. These recipes also replace white flour with almond flour in some cases. They also use other alternatives for white flour like rolled oats and wholemeal flour. Consideration of GI levels is important for everyone, not just pre-diabetics and diabetics, as keeping GI low helps prevent people from developing diabetes in the first place. When Bobby Kennedy says eat real food, including whole grains, this means don't eat white bread, candy, or sweet baked treats anymore. Eat whole grain and allulose blend products instead. Low GI foods are important for managing prediabetes and diabetes, and a well-managed diet can reduce your blood test result for HbA1c. If you have diabetes, your doctor or nurse may test your HbA1c levels every 3 to 6 months. This test measures your recent average blood glucose levels. The results of this test are used to diagnose diabetes. Many Western countries have seen a huge rise in occurrence of diabetes and obesity, and this seems to be primarily related to diet and physical activity patterns. MAHA gives us an opportunity to reverse this trend by improving diet and exercise patterns. For example, the US government should no longer provide school children with daily donuts or iced white bread buns, but maybe Allulose blend could mean that a few sweet treats can be allowed. Allulose blend may not be entirely traditional or something that our grandparents ate, but it is natural and shows a lot of promise. The input of non-woke church and synagogue members on these matters is needed and would be appreciated. We need to warn our people not to assume that traditional foods like white bread and sweet baked goods are healthier, along with other products made from white flour and white sugar, for example donuts. We must see the reality of this so we can let our political leaders know that we do not wish to take unnecessary risks with bad diets. We must understand that we can convince the wider population that they should be cautious about high GI foods even if they do not have diabetes. That is all for today. See you again soon. Thank you, and may God bless you.